3. Roberta and Amanda were on their way home from school. Amanda dragged her school bag along the ground. She whined. "You're going too fast," she said. "I can't keep up." It was true. Roberto was walking as fast as he could. He wanted to get through the park quickly. He didn't want to see the boys playing football. They were always there. They never asked him to come and play. The biggest boy was called Fergus. Fergus was telling the players what team they were on. Today it was the World Cup. Fergus was the captain of the Irish team. He was always the captain. He always got the best players. The goalie, Shane, was his brother. Shane was the same age as Roberto. Roberto thought he looked nice. He smiled at Roberto and Amanda as they went past. When they got home, their mother was very excited because their grandmother was going to telephone that afternoon. "You can both talk to Vovó on the telephone," she said. Roberta and Amanda had been born in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. Their grandmother still lived there. Roberto missed her a lot. Vovó came on the phone to Roberta. Even though they often spoke English at home now, Roberta and Amanda always spoke Portuguese to their grandmother. She didn't speak any English at all. She said, "So you have been in Ireland all summer now. How's your new school? Have you made any friends?" "Not really," said Roberta. "But you must," said Vovó. "Why go all across the world if you don't make friends? Would you like a friend?" "Of course I would," said Roberta. "Well, I have an idea," said Vovó. "You remember the story I told you?" "Which story?" said Roberta. Vovó had told him many stories. "The one about the dreaming tree," said Vovó. "Tell me again," said Roberta. "There once was a boy who found a tree in a forest. There were all sorts of different animals lying in it. All the animals were fast asleep. None of them woke up when the boy climbed into the tree. He fell fast asleep too. He dreamed that he met a big black jaguar. It was the Jaguar King. The Jaguar King taught him many things. When the boy waked and left the tree, he had become very wise. He knew how to get his heart's desire." "What's a heart desire?" "Heart's desire?" asked Roberto. "It's what you really want," said Vovó. "So do you have to find a jaguar?" said Roberto. "I don't think they have them here." "No, you have to find a tree," said Vovó. He asked his mother if he could go out to the park to play. "Go ahead," she said, "but be sure to be back by 4 o'clock, and come home if it starts to rain." Roberto went to the park, but he didn't go to where the boys were still playing football. Instead, he thought about his grandmother's story. He found a big tree. Roberto climbed up into the tree. He felt as if he were a bird in a nest. The green leaves moved in the sunlight. They went backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. The green branches swayed in the wind, rocking him backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. He could hear the water flowing and the sound of the branches moving in the wind and the voices far away. He fell fast asleep. He dreamed about all the animals his grandmother had told him about. Roberto opened his eyes. A face was peering at him through the leaves. It was a jaguar. The jaguar was huge and black. Roberto looked into its slanted green eyes. They were the same color as the leaves around its black face. The jaguar opened its mouth and in a huge yawn. Roberto could see its white teeth and pink tongue and dark throat. He could hardly breathe. Then he heard a strange noise. The jaguar was purring loudly. It scratched itself. "I'm Sina," it said, "the Jaguar King. What do you want?" "I want a friend," said Roberto. The Jaguar King smiled. Roberto opened his eyes. Everything was darker. The leaves were a darker green. The sky was a darker blue. It must have been a dream, he thought. I must have been asleep. But he could still hear purring. He could still see green eyes looking at him through the leaves. He could see white teeth and a pink tongue. But there was no jaguar there, just a very large fat black cat. It was curled in the branches of the tree. It was yawning as if it had just woken up. Then it stretched itself. Roberto could hear voices calling. Snowy, come here, Snowy. Here, Snowy, good cat. It was Fergus. Come here, why don't you? He called again. Roberto peered down through the branches. Fergus and Shane were beneath the tree looking very worried. Shane said, where could she have to go to? She'll be all right, said Fergus. She might not be, said Shane. She has been missing for ages. She could have her kittens any minute. Roberto looked at the cat. The cat looked at Roberto. Come here, little cat, he whispered. The cat came over to him. She let him lift her up. He scrambled down the tree. It was hard to keep a grip on the cat, but he made it. The two boys jumped when he appeared out of the leaves. They saw the cat. Is this your cat? Roberto asked. But he didn't need an answer. Shane had taken the cat in his arms. He was hugging her tightly. Roberto hoped he wouldn't squeeze the kittens out. Shane and Fergus were smiling at him. Roberto smiled back. The next day, Roberto walked home through the park by himself. He went past the place where the boys were playing football. Hey, come over here, said Fergus. Roberto went over. Do you want to be on the Irish team? Asked Fergus. Roberto thought for a minute. Ireland had never made it to the World Cup final, not once. Brazil had won the World Cup 5 times. I usually play striker, Roberto said. Is that okay? Fergus nodded his head. The sun was shining. Roberto pulled off his jacket. His shirt was green and yellow today. It had 5 gold stars on it.